Never stab at it. Why do you think it's false?
Because that's what we talked about the last class,
Mhm.
right? Is the 4 to 6 days in inventory value. That's how long it almost sits on the shelf. Is that right?
Yeah.
So it had to be false because that's not. I mean, the customer buy it at that
Yeah.
point.
So, what is that ratio? If it takes 4 to 6, the customers are granted 4 to 6 days to pay for their purchases. We have a name for that too. That's called days sales and receivables, okay? Or also known as the average collection period. So what's described over there is not days sales and inventory, it's days sales and receivables. That's why it's false. Selling inventory at a profit in a charge sale will decrease the current ratio, all else constant. Assume the current ratio is greater than 1. So you're selling inventory, but you're not getting cash, you're getting a credit card receivable. But you're selling it at a profit. That decrease or increase the current ratio? Yes.
Let's say false.
Why?
Because the inventory is going to decrease by the X amount of percentage. The cash will increase by Y percentage.
I mean, let's think about it. Let me copy this. Current ratio is current assets divided by current liabilities. Here you sold inventory at a profit, so what you got value of inventory plus profit, and you got this in receivables. So your receivables went up by that much, right? But your inventory went down by value of inventory. Nothing happened to current liabilities, so changing current assets equals negative inventory value, but you got inventory value plus profit in receivables. So your current assets increase by the amount of the profits. You know, if the numerator has increased, nothing happened to the denominator. Obviously, the ratio has to go up. Hence, current ratio has increased, not decreased. Questions like these, always use the definition. You'll be just fine. For this specific question, this information is not relevant. Just because there is information there doesn't mean it's relevant to the solution. Sometimes, not on this question, but on certain questions, I put information that has nothing to do with the question. Some people just jump on that.
I know noticed that in the last text.
Yeah, part of the reasoning is you determine what's relevant. That's why I put them in there, not because I'm diabolical. Not that I am not diabolical, but that's not the reason.
The evil genius Descartes talked about.
Huh?
The evil genius Descartes talked about.
Descartes.
Yeah, the philosopher.
Remember, the French do not pronounce the last letters.
What was it?
The French do not pronounce the last letters.
Descartes.
Descartes. The S is not pronounced. Unless certain things happen. For example, when you say Le Miserable, it's Les Miserables, right? But if you want to say les is the for plural, okay? So the miserables, that's what Les Miserables mean. But if you want to say the children is enfant, okay? It starts with a vowel, so you say les enfants.
Were you born with such a good memory, or did you?
I was born with such a good
Chicken
memory.
noodle soup, dude. Is there a secret to getting the memory? How do you remember all these things?
I just do. I don't know. I mean, one of my advantages is I was a kid before computer and internet age. I did not even know that what a calculator was until I was probably in 7th grade. I had not seen a calculator. I was not allowed to use a calculator in an exam until the junior year in college. I took a mathematical statistics class, and we were not allowed to use a calculator in the exams. We had to calculate averages kind of by hand. I mean, they didn't give us 100 data points, but
Oh, my statistics class I had was terrible enough with the calculator.
but we didn't have computers. When I was sophomore, that was what, 1984? Yeah.
How old are you?
I'll be 59 in a month.
Really?
And almost old enough to get money from my 401k without penalty. 59 and a half. Because my 401k is going to pay for the kids' college loans, or the college loans I got for them. It's going to be 400 grand. No, it'll be about 350. They got more financial aid in the sophomore year at BC.
What schools they go to?
The younger one is a sophomore now at Boston College. He's going to be pre-med. He wants to be a doctor. So he may end up coming to UK medical school. He likes Lexington anyway. And the other one is a senior now. He's going to graduate in December, UC San Diego. His official name for it is, what was it? Neural network calculation or something like that. He's basically doing machine learning and artificial intelligence.
Oh, cool. That's a good one to go into right about that.
Hmm?
That's a good one for right about that.
Oh, yeah. Now he wants to do a PhD, though. He was just asking me during the break, should I apply for next year, or should I spend one more year without classes on research papers so that I can do a solo published journal article so that I can go to MIT or Stanford?
Is it hard to get your PhD?
Yeah, depending upon where it is.
Yeah. Like, would you say it's any more, like, is it exponentially harder than the classes now?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. But, you do much more specialized stuff. The market to book ratio of a leverage firm, we already talked about this. This is true. Sometimes you get the different versions of the same thing. The profit margin is the amount of net profit earned for every dollar of total assets. True or false?
That's true, right?
No. Profit margin is net income divided by sales. So
Oh, okay.
Profit earned per dollar of sales.
I left off that.
This is per dollar of total assets, which we know as return on assets or ROA.
Yeah, I saw for every $1, and I was like, of course it's true. Let's get the last part.
It's called RTGDQ. Read the goddamn question. I made it nicer. It's actually FQ, but people don't read stuff. Years ago, I had started my PhD in econ at Boston College, and my girlfriend at the time, who became my wife later, she came 1 year after me. She had a classmate. This was a Chinese lady. And I was kind of an expert in that stats package we used. Those days, we didn't have ready stuff. You had to write your own code. It's called RATS, Regression Analysis of Time Series. And everybody kept coming to me and asking me questions. And sure, why not? I have good memory and I know how to work things out. So I solve their problems, give it to them. This woman comes to me with almost the same question after. After a while, I said, you asked me almost the same question, maybe 10 times. I gave you an answer. I finally said, read the goddamn manual, but I didn't say goddamn. I'm very helpful, but there's a limit to my stupidity. Because they don't want to read, they don't want to think. Oh, I can stack anyway. No, thank you. Cash ratio indicates how long a firm can pay its bills given its current cash balance. It doesn't, yeah, kind of. Almost by definition. The firm has days sales and inventory. Okay. We know this is to be true by definition. All right. The questions that you hate. Which of the following transactions will increase the liquidity of the firm? Purchasing equipment with cash. Will that increase or not? No, because equipment is fixed assets, so it's totally liquid. Cash is liquid, so you're decreasing it. Collecting an accounts receivable.